What's cracking? Ah! Damn, I'm getting old. It's been about 2 years since I started this shit, almost, in January. I've done maybe around like 200 reviews at this point, like 250 maybe. We've covered a lot of discographies, we've finished a lot of discographies. So I want to start this new series on my channel where I rank albums from worst to best. Alright, this is totally not copied off of another YouTuber. This is an original idea. I didn't know who to start off with at first. I figured, you know, let's do someone whose discography not only that I finished, that I've returned to multiple times. All right, someone that I'm a big fan of. If y'all know me, all right, then you know that ever since I started this shit from day one, from the early days, electronic music has been basically what I've been going back to the most off of what I've reviewed. You may have gotten to watch me go through Richard's discography entirely. If you didn't see any of those videos, I created a playlist where you can go check those out. All right, all 6 reviews. I'm gonna be ranking these records, talking about them, and also as a bonus, all right, I have all the tracks off of each record ranked from best to worst off to the side, just in case you were interested in my favorites and least favorites without me having to explicitly go into every single one of them. If you're new to the channel and you want to see any more of these and you want to see any other reviews and shit like that, then feel free to let me know. If you've been here for a while and you want me to do a best to worst or a ranked discography of another artist that I may not have finished yet or I may be short of by a couple albums, feel free to let me know and I'll hopefully can finish those up so I can get another video like this out because I'm interested in this concept. This is Richard's 3rd album, not the 3rd one I listened to. This record kind of strays away from the ambient techno and just straight up ambient music of Selected Ambient Works Volume 1 and 2 and just solely kind of focuses on IDM, which makes it sound kind of repetitive in nature. I mean, if there was any adjectives to describe this record, it's very awkward. This record does have things that are special about it in its own way. Some things that are straight up tinnitus inducing, Ventolin. You know, we can't talk about this album without talking about the all-time banger, maybe one of Aphex Twin's best songs, Alberto Balsam, but the record is also a double-edged sword because Ventolin is also off of here. There are some other songs I like. Moo Kid is very nice. It sounds like an early Minecraft beta song, but there's so many songs off this I just confuse with one another. I mean, half the fucking album is named similarly, like Wax the Pen, Wax the Tip. What? I don't want to say eerie and scary atmospheres, but there's a certain uneasiness to some of these songs off of here. Track 6, Come On You Slags, which I believe samples porn. Iced Hedral, which actually I see that a lot of people like. I'm not a massive fan of. However, I do like the kind of scariness of it, and I do think the intro is pretty cool. But overall, with this record, I just don't find myself returning to it as much, just because it doesn't have as much like star power. If you prefer this record for the vibe and the aesthetic, I sort of understand, but he very clearly improves on his production process in Richard D. James and the following Drukqs. But yeah, that's it. I Care Because You Do. It's still fuck Ventolin. Alright, that song is ass. This comes after Aphex Twin's longest hiatus, I believe. He took so long to drop an album that DAWs were being used at this point. So I think with the innovations in music production making it very easier to do complex sounds, I think a lot of people were going into this album expecting him to kind of push the boundaries like crazy. That's what I'm assuming. I don't know. I heard this record like 10 years later, like just recently. I think when it comes to this record, there's some aspects that he's just kind of playing it safe on. It honestly does feel like a more chill, laid back version of I Care Because You Do, really focusing more on its IDM elements, and it's frustrating because we kind of get his best piano ballad towards the end of the record, which he was doing a lot on Drukqs, but I feel like I Said Sana is just on another level. And of course 180 dB, which is just a straight up techno banger. I believe parts of the intro in Xmas Eve 10 are also incredible, but I just feel like when it comes to the rest of this record, it's just kind of mimicking the other songs in a way. Positively, I do think that this record is actually easy to get lost into and easy just to kind of chill out to, but then again, with the creation of DAWs, it kind of leaves out the mystique of wondering how the fuck did Richard create that sound. It's very consistent, which is sometimes its downfall.
Stop making that big face!
I get it. It's an EP. It's an EP, but I still wanted to pay my respects to it because I never got to do a video on it because I didn't really want to. You know, I heard Flim and I heard Is Us before I heard the EP in its entirety before I heard Come to Daddy. And I really just want to pay my respects to those two songs because holy shit, those are, oh wow. The intro too is just such a fucking banger. The remixes, I'm not a massive fan of, okay? I'm truly not. And it's a shame that I didn't do this on camera anyways because my reaction to Bouncing Ball was, was like, how? Richard D. James, all right, infamous album cover, completely matches the music sometimes, okay? This was my first album by him. I was recommended this one first because someone thought that it was good to tell me that I should check out this one first instead of selected Ambient works, which was, looking back on it now, something that I don't regret doing. I can tell you for sure that a majority of these tracks did grow on me, but the tracks that I still don't like, I return more to Cornish Acid than I did before. That kick drum gets me. I still don't like To Cure a Weakling Child, sorry, or Logan Rock Witch. But 4 and Finger Bib are, this record has just some incredible drill and bass moments that often, for me personally, outweigh the IDM ones. It's very obvious that you can tell that he's improved so much since I Care Because You Do. Just way more adventurous, way more focused, not dragging anything on, keeping it straight into the point. All right, it's a very sharp fucking album. Lastly, shout out to Goon Goompas. All right, that's very Minecraft. I feel like I'm walking around as a Goompa, and I think I said that in my review. Selected Ambient Works, Volume 1. All right, it's kind of the album. It's kind of the album. Something interesting about this album. For most people who are fans of Aphex Twin and diehard fans, this is not their favorite album by him. But for a lot of people that aren't Aphex Twin fans, this is their favorite album. That's why it's so popular, because it just covers such a range of sound, and it does have his most accessible sounds with the kind of ambient techno vibes. It wasn't until this album where I actually really started to think about album sequencing and how that really works when it comes to music, because the album sequencing on this is freaky. It's weird. It's kind of like after that little ambient, the only ambient moment on the album, after the whole album kind of just like transforms itself. The record is top heavy for sure. There is no denying that. Many people call Crystal his best song, which I'm not gonna entirely argue with. I still love Pulse Width so much more. For me personally, that might be my favorite non-ambient song by him. Helios Fan is also incredibly underrated. We need to talk about that one more. And I do believe truly that the only reason why it's not played as much is because Green Calx comes up in the middle of it. I cannot imagine how many people have listened to Green Calx and turned this fucking album off. And I definitely do appreciate Green Calx way more than I did before. All right, I will say that. In my review, I wasn't the craziest about it. I'll just say that right now. It's not my least favorite off the record. I feel like Shot Key and Head Film both don't really do it for me, but I just love how you can get fucking lost in this record with Actium and We Are the Music Makers. You know, those deep cuts that I didn't really find too much value in before definitely turn me on now. But yeah, the techno vibes of this record overall is the reason why I return to it the most. All right, specifically like specific songs, the production, the mix, I think all of it improves on this next one. This album really made me realize that he's fucking crazy. Speaking of album sequencing, Jesus Christ, this album has everything. Ambient, IDM, drill and bass, even some classical piano ballads. And it's fucking just spread out. It's spread out all over the place. None of it is aligned with each other. None of it is organized by genre, by what kind of music he makes. It's kind of just a super cut. And it's easily his most meaningful record because throughout it, we do get some kind of snippets of, I think, his parents. Going from Lorna Derrick to QKTHR is so insane. From a technical standpoint, I think Vord Hosbin might be his best song, along with Mount St. Michael. Piano ballads are beautiful. And it's funny, when I listen to this, I wonder if an album of straight piano ballads by him would hit as hard, or maybe it's just the album sequencing that, you know, creates these massive and intense songs that almost hurt the eardrum sometimes, followed up by the most beautiful piano I've ever heard. I can't forget Bibi Dion Chord, how the fuck you ever pronounce it? That track is groovy as fuck. All right, it needs to be talked about more. maybe his most underrated song in my opinion. The intro is a very interesting one. It kind of gives me the vibe of waiting in a doctor's office forever. Kanye sampling Avril 14, but honestly, I think Avril 14 is more popular than Blame Game. Favorite piano track would probably have to be Nanu. Looking back on it now, I mean, that track just really hits me emotionally. But yeah, production on this record is absolutely brain melting, and I still don't know how he does it. To me, any word in the human language, in the dictionary, all right, can describe this record. Any adjective that you think about it, you can apply to at least one song off of here. This is one of the only albums, really. I mean, there's some albums, but the overbearing, all right, quantity of this record does not eliminate the quality at all. As a matter of fact, it kind of just increases it. Sure, there are some songs off of here that are just downright terrifying, that I just don't want to listen to, that would fit amazing in a thriller and a horror movie to a T. I'm telling you, so many of these songs would be better movie scores than most movie scores. I can see songs like Stone and Focus and 3 being in movies like Blade Runner. I can see 20 being in like an amazing romance movie or something like that. I don't know. I would say the only moments that I don't really like off of here are just when like he tries to like throw a rhythm in there, like on tracks 8 and 9. Probably overall, the top 3 songs off of this record are my favorite songs by him. 23, Stone and Focus. These songs don't just mean a lot to me, but they mean a lot to everyone in the world. There's a video on YouTube of a monkey, right? Of a monkey, a baboon in the water, and the comment section to Stone and Focus is downright crazy. All right, this song is like 3 ambient chords for 10 minutes. And it changes lives. There are some songs that just have such an uneasy feeling too, an eerie feeling, like you're in the back rooms, maybe off of track 6 to kind of exhibit that. The vocals on track 6, I still don't know where the fuck those are coming from. I think I said in my video that it sounds like one of those biblical angels. To me, I still hear it till this day. But yeah, the soundscapes on this album are massive. I mean, this whole album is probably the biggest record there is. I truly feel like I'm traveling in a different solar system on a different planet every time I'm listening to a different song off of here, and it's always so desolate, it's always so empty, but the vibe is always different. Whether it's happy, whether it's sad, you still feel kind of alone, but in a different place off of the record. It's something that I've never heard on any other thing since. But yeah, give this record a listen. All right, I think it's the best one. Just throw this album on, you know, get creative, just start writing for a little bit, see what comes out. I just want to do a short little video today talking about Aphex twin, Richard. All right, I don't know how long this video is going to be. Just wanted to briefly cover his stuff. But yeah, thank you for coming out tonight. If you want me to do more rankings like these, feel free to like and subscribe. All right, I appreciate you for being here. All right, thank you.